Hello and good evening. We are live on a Friday night. It's actually Good Friday, so holidays for a lot of people. It's 6:30 almost, and time for Trisha time with So Totally Trisha. So this will be the third time this week. So things are getting a little bit back to normal. So let's see who's going to join me this evening. And I'm sure we'll get some comments coming up shortly because we are on the open page. So anybody can watch and you are most welcome to join in. Let's see what you've all been up to today. Here we've had a pleasant day, I think. Started off early, very nicely. Hi, Lindsay. Sun was shining and I thought, oh, we're in for a lovely day. And then it started to rain. So it was a little bit on and off with the rain, but it's now dry, a little bit nippy, but I can cope with that. So hello, Marilyn. Lovely to see you this evening. Oh, itchy nose, what does that mean? Coming into money? No. Oh, and there's Jeeta. Hello, Jeeta. Sorry, I haven't replied to your email yet, but yes, I do believe I have. Good evening, Sarah. I'll get round to doing that. I've had a day of going out food shopping. Ugh, can't stand it. It was so busy. I could hardly find a space in the car park, and I'm a little bit fussy about the spaces I choose. Evening, Liz. I like to have a bit of space either side, but the car park didn't have much space, and I did find one eventually. And then when I came out, I couldn't remember where I'd parked because I do the choosing. Hello, Pat. You know, it goes back and you think, oh, did I go in that one? Did I go in that one? Never mind. So, hello, Michelle. Okay, Jeeta, thank you. Yes, hello, Michelle. And when I came back, what did I do then? Oh, I set about having a little sort around, moving things out, ready for my Easter dinner on Sunday with practically the whole family. So we're getting there, but it's quite exhausting. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Dorothy. And I was actually thinking, do you know what? Hello, Sue. Oh, lovely to have you here. Don't recognise the surname there, Sue. So if it's the first time you've commented, lovely. You may have been watching in the wings at times. Or you may even have seen that tonight there is going to be a giveaway. I'll mention it again because there's not too many people. But I've got a big scrap bag that I'm going to give away to one of you watching tonight. And we'll just scroll down the posts, or I think I'm going to get Lindsay to do it. And oh dear, to see who's going to be the lucky winner. So let's have a look. You're right, Sarah. They do go mad. Won't end up in the bin here. I assure you of that. Hello, Kim. Hello, Alison. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Jane. Hello, Mary. And Susan. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, having had a sort around, I was thinking, do you know what? I haven't really moved that much. But if I were to move house, oh my goodness, it would take me a year to pack everything up, I'm sure. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Leslie. Excuse me. Oh, no, that's all right. That's all right, Lindsay. But the worst thing, hello, Janet. The worst thing is I can never find anything when I've moved it, packed it in boxes or tubs or whatever. Oh, nightmare. Hello, Catherine. Even getting bits ready for tonight. I thought, oh, which tub have I put that in? Hello, Marion. So happy Easter to all of you. Patsy did the same. Spent ages trying to find the car. I know. You try not to look as though, oops, I've lost my car, don't you? You walk along thinking, don't look at me, please. You know, I am looking for my car, but I don't want you to notice that I'm looking for my car. And I thought, oh dear, I hope I'm not going a little bit in the mind, but no. I know where, and also, I always look at the car that I'm parked next to. Of course, that had gone, hasn't it? It was a big white car. So I was looking for a big white car, and there was no big white car. It was a blue small car. So never mind, I did find it. And then, of course, somebody's getting into their car when I'm just wanting to... Typical, isn't it? Of all the spaces there are, the person parked next to me is actually getting in or out of their car at the same time. Never mind. Hello, Bev. Did I say hello, Sandra? Hello, Ellen and Anne and Rosemary. Oh, dear, Sarah. Been there, done that. You'll get better very, very quickly. Yes. Hello, Beverly. Hello, Pollyann. Oh, thank you. Yes. Sit down with a cuppa and join in. That's lovely. Oh, Catherine did it too in Aldi's. It was hidden. Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? I don't like these big cars because you also, when you're pulling out, when you're reversing out, you can really, and I go so slowly because I'm looking in the mirror, I'm looking in the wing mirrors, I'm going a little bit, looking both ways because I don't want to back into anybody. Oh, there's Brenda. Hello, Brenda. Happy Easter to you. Thank you. Hope you're well. Lovely to see you here tonight. Caroline, you got in another person's car before, as you... I've walked up to one and wondered why the keys wouldn't work, but I don't know. Hello, Ellen. Oh, hello, Bridget. Oh, don't forget. Blimey. So we should have all gone up a little further north and gone to Sainsbury's there where Lindsay is. Pleasantly surprised as it was relatively empty. Very good. Wasn't where I was, I tell you. But I did get everything I needed. Hello, Carol. Hello, Joanna. Hello, Jane. Hello, Amanda. Right. Okay. So, there's a few more here than when I said earlier. But if you were watching last night when I did the subscription box reveal, I did say then that I have... Oh no, Jane. She got the bus home. Well, a long time ago, I was parked in Peterborough and I could not find my car then. And I had to go down to the office in the entrance and said, I can't find my car. I know I parked on a certain floor. And then he said to me, there are 4, they are colour, so which one did you park in? I think there was red, yellow, green and blue. And I thought, I don't know. So my car was there. I actually thought it was stolen because I was looking in the wrong colour section, but I was on the right floor. So that is a nightmare. It's really quite frightening. Hello, Margot. Okay. Yeah, we do our shopping online, but when it comes to something like this, I was going to, and then I thought, what if I don't get it all? This is the thing. So our normal shops are, but Martin has actually been out in the car today because I suppose it was a bit horrible, but what did he say? I can't think now. And I said, why don't you get in the car and go and do it then? Because I'd been out once. I really didn't want to go out again. So I said, we need to go and get some coal and some wood. So I said, well, why don't you get in the car? You only step out and it's a farm shop we go to. And I said, I think you're being a bit of a wuss. With that, it had the right effect. Because he said, right, I'm going now. I said, can you remember how to drive it? Because it's been practically a year since he's driven the car. And we hadn't had it very long anyway. And I said, you know where the brake is? He said, well. I said, well, there's not a brake, a handbrake, is there? So he said, oh, right, yeah, what do you do? So he got there and came back. And he's really pleased with himself. So he will be going and doing the shopping now. No more shopping online. Unless it's a special occasion, I think. So, hello, Janet. Yes, you've got me. I'm feeling a lot more bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I must say. It's horrible feeling poorly for such a long time. But now, touch wood, we're on the up, which is brilliant. As you heard, I've still got a cough every now and again, but not like it was, nowhere near. Hello, Carol. Hello, Virginia, and Carolyn, and Yvonne, and Rena. Oh, watching live at last. Hello, Sue. Sue, you sent me an email as well. I read it and I can't remember. Yes, I have. I will get back to you. Hello, Jill. Pat tried to get into somebody else's car once. Yep. We've all done it, haven't we? Well, some of us. I won't bring you all into the same bracket, no. Hello, Barbara. Ellen got your parcel, lovely. Oh, you're more than welcome. Oh, Jan nearly missed me. You thought it was I've been thinking it's Saturday all day as well. Don't worry about it. But I was in Saturday mode, and hence, actually, having done all of that, I thought I need a bit of freedom today as well. So can you see what I've made behind me? Let me just bring it in. Oh, there, just there. I thought I want to have a little play on the embroidery machine, and having bought 3 designs from Embroidery Library, so this was from Embroidery Library, and I consciously, because with Embroidery Library you only buy 1 size, although this was available in 3, you had to pay for each size, and I wanted to go into a 5x7 frame. So it was about, what was it, about 4.5, 6.5, something like that. I thought that'll work. When I put my stabilizer in the frame, it said it was I needed to change to a bigger frame. And I thought, I haven't got a bigger frame. Ugh. And then, of course, the other 2 that I bought as well were also a similar size. So I was really miffed with myself. I thought, well, I'll have to use another embroidery machine, because this is the machine that when I do some demonstrations, which will be next month in the Sew with Trisha group, and when I do it in the actual machine embroidery with Trisha group, it's the machine I shall use. And then, so I thought I'll do another design. I'll find another design, which I did. And as I lifted up found my book with all the embroidery designs that are inbuilt, there was a bigger frame. And I thought I didn't realise I had a bigger frame. So, hence, I thought I'm going to try it out. Oh, and I sat there. It took half an hour, 32 minutes. And I went downstairs twice, because I thought I can't sit here watching it. But for any of you who say, oh, I don't want an embroidery machine, I guarantee that if you do get one, you'll sit and watch it. The stitches are so perfect. Let's just go a little bit closer. See if we can. There. It is just perfection. It stitches so beautifully, and I'm a little bit hooked again now with machine embroidery. That's a little bit easier to do that, Lindsay, getting on a motorbike, because I mean, yeah, most of them got black on them, haven't they? Yes. Oh, Patricia thought her car had been stolen. Oh, yes. Oh, Joanna tried to as well. Oh, you see, I'm not mad then, are we? We're all in the same boat. And Lady took your trolley full of food in the supermarket. Oh, blimey. Hello, Mavis. Hello, Jack. I feel so much better, thank you. Jill's had a day out. Whoops, let's just bring that back in. That's better. Yes, it is rather nice, isn't it? So it's Embroidery Library, and I can't remember what the design's called. It probably is Just Take It One Stitch at a Time. But I just put sewing in there, and you get lots of them that come up. So, hello, Heather. Yeah, oh, there are, aren't there? Now, I bought those when it was buy one, get one free. There's another one which I haven't done, which is all honeycomb, with little flowers in each honeycomb. And that was one of them that I bought, and I thought I won't be able to use that either. But I will. A lot of colour changes in it, though, so... I thought, no, I'm not going to do that at the minute. They do them in smaller sizes, though. I just didn't want to go the smallest. I didn't go for the biggest. I think I went the middle one. But yes, it is mesmerising, Bridget, isn't it? But it's a waste of time. That's why you need a sewing machine sitting next to your embroidery machine, so you can sew whilst that's embroidering. Catherine feels the same. Mesmerising. You wanted me to do a reminder on the bottle bag. Okay, Marilyn. I'm sure we can do that at some point. I've got a list of things, but I have to take everybody into account as well. So, oh dear, Sarah. Oh, well, you'll get, one day You'll have so much, you'll just go one thing after the other, because you'll have lots in your menu, an agenda of everything you want to make. So there's Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa. Missed you. Next week, Vanessa. Hello, Aurora. I've done that on purpose, using my daughter's trolley or my mum's trolley, you know, just to see how funny it is. Had to go around and find, yes, I know. You would love a bottle bag pattern demo. Okay. I think I've done 2 or 3 different ones, so we'll have to see. That is for another week, perhaps next week. I'll see what I've got planned. But in the Sew with Trisha group, obviously, it's bag of the month for April, because it will be April the 2nd. So I will say, I imagine, or I think, practically everybody here is in the Sew with Trisha group. So, little reminder, Sunday, 2 more days, Sunday, all the PDFs will disappear. So one is this lovely table runner. Another is a bag, the Titiana bag. It's Titania bag. What am I on about? That's downstairs. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Patricia. So please download all of those, because they will disappear. I know, can't believe we're into April on Monday. So you will need to download them, because otherwise you'll need to buy them off the website, which is an absolute waste when you've got it for free this month. Indeed I am too, Vanessa. Okay. So what I was going to do before I can crack on, this is the bag of scraps. So in here, it is quite heavy. I hope it's not more than 2 kilos. No, it's probably coming up 2 kilograms, but it is absolute. Is that the bottle bag? No, this one is the cute little basket. That's the cute little basket, Catherine. You've got some drinking bottles to hold with it. Okay. See what we can do. Yes, so this is going to go to one lucky person this evening. And, oh, I haven't asked Lindsay what number, but I'm going to give her a number of a comment, and that person will be the winner. So in here there are most of them about 10 inches long. The maximum will be probably 4 inches wide when it's on the fold, but there's all sorts of Moda and Macau scraps in here, even the selve edges, which, if you love your slow stitching, are beautiful when you add them into your slow stitching projects. So I'm going to do the demo first, and then, as I say, keep commenting. Don't worry, Jane. And as I say, I shall ask Lindsay to have a look for a certain number of a comment to win. Okay. So I haven't done a giveaway for a little while. Mind you, oh, the other thing, we've got the giveaway on Monday at 4. Hi, Linda. The monthly giveaway for the Sew with Trisha group members. So Easter Monday, 4 o'clock. Be there or be square. Okay. So what I'm going to do tonight, and I've showed you these a couple of times now. Yes, you'd better comment, Jenny. Absolutely. Okay. So I've made 2 of these little pouches. So exactly the same piece size of fabric. And I've used a pair of denims, and I've just chopped from the legs. So with the jeans, what I did, I slit up the inside leg where the seam is so that I could open it out. And then I just chopped the biggest piece that I could get. So as far as I'm aware, it is 6.5 inches wide. I've got a couple of pieces here, so you can see the wear on there. So they've been worn. These were stretch as well, so I have already fused fusible fleece on here, and it just gives it a little bit of body. Really, really nice. So it's 6.5 inches wide, and then I just cut it to the length of my zip. Well, when I'd got an 8-inch zip, that's what I did it to. This one, I think, let me just have a look. Yeah, that's just over. That's about 8.5. But you can do it whatever size you like, because the technique is just the same, whichever you do. So grab your jeans, chop them up, or your husband's. Don't let him know if he's got 2 pairs. Just say, I don't know what you've done with the other pair. Bubble tea drinks and usually buys at least 2. Oh. Would it be possible to have a pattern for something similar? Bubble tea drink. I don't know what those are. Don't know what those are. I'll have to look that up. Who was that asking me there? Leslie. Bubble tea drinks. I don't know. Bridget, you're thinking exactly the same as I was. When I'd got this, I thought I'm going to embroider on it. But then I thought, I was going to embroider what I embroidered there. Obviously, far too big for it to work. So I haven't. But that was the idea. So if I were going to embroider, a lazy way is to have your fabric bigger than you actually need it. Do your embroidery on and then cut the size you want so that you can center or position the embroidery exactly where you want it on your boxy pouch. It is. You've never had a pair of jeans. Well, somebody in the family must have, Catherine. Chop any but your... That's right. I know, Beverly, that's what reminded me of what you said yesterday. Johnny won't know, will he? No. Yeah, buy them from charity shops. Fabulous. Oh, Patricia never heard of bubble tea either. But I tell you what, I mean, this was on, you know, I said I'd put all my bits of fabric away. I went in the other, no, where did I go? Yeah, into the other room, the other bedroom, and there was a tub there, and I just grabbed this piece of black. So this is just purely black cotton, but you can see how nice and smooth. There's no puckers. And I've got fusible fleece on the back there. So I still use my stabilizer, just the tear, the stitch and tear stabilizer on the bottom. And then I just, I put the fusible fleece that we have on the back, and you see how beautifully, not a pucker in sight, which is really, really good. Yes, Gita, ask the children not to. Oh, it's a new fad that the kids love. Right, okay. Made with tapioca. Oh my goodness. Absolutely, Elaine. Husband's old clothes get ruined in the washing machine. I know. I could clear Martin's whole wardrobe out. I really could. He doesn't possess a pair of jeans though. Had a really small one that I had on my keys with boo bags and all, but pay attention. You like my style, Jack. I know. Where there's a will, there's a way, isn't there? I think it has tapioca pearls in it. Oh, perhaps that's the bubbles, is it? Oh, Mavis has never had a pair of jeans. Oh, you can still go to the charity shop, Mavis. Could you use a few as a stabilizer? Yeah, I did. But usually it's really good to have just the normal tearaway as well. But you can see, can you see there? I've still got the tearaway. I've pulled some of it off. You could try without the tearaway, but the tearaway also keeps it very smooth as well. Okay. Internet's playing up. Okay. Yes. I've just answered it for you. I'm over 60 and still wear them. Yes. One day you will, Sue. Okay. Yeah, you see. Yeah, I live in jeans too. When the summer... well, you see, when you have to show your legs, out comes the epilator. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you know. And I don't like white legs. I'm the wrong shape, Catherine. Don't worry about it. You just wear long, baggy clothes over the top. Don't worry about it. If you feel comfortable, you wear it. Okay, so that is mine. I said it was 6.5 inches wide because my ruler was 6.5 inches wide. And it's a little bit, it's about 8.5 inches long. But you do it whatever size you like. So with both of these were the same size. I'm going to do one similar to this. Can you see the ends there? So that one and that one were made with the same sized piece of fabric. But it's just what we do, and it's nice and easy. So let's have a go. Let's have a look. So what we have, let's go down here. Let's go down here. First of all, I had better take the light down so that you can see. Oh no, it was down. Well, I never. Okay. So I've got my two pieces. Two pieces the same size. I have got two pieces of lining fabric. This is the lovely Stoff fabric that I had a while ago. And there just happened to be a piece sitting there without me having to look too far either. Also need, I've got a continuous zip, so I'm going to pull that apart. I'll stitch it in as it is, but I'm going to put a zip pull on there as well. And then I have got a little piece for my tabs, which is just 2 inches wide. And I folded and pressed. So fold in half, like so. Open it out, raw edges to that centre crease, press, fold it over and press. And we've got about 1/2 inch wide, which for this one will be absolutely fine. So could do it a bit wider if you wanted to, but I just wanted a little narrow one. So all I'm going to do first of all is to stitch down the side here. So let's have a look. So I'm just going to stitch, usually I've done this bit, haven't I? The open edge first of all. Okay, oh, that's it. So I'm just stitching down both sides just to join that. There's one side. Or you could use ribbon, absolutely fine. And I'm stitching about 1/8 of an inch in from the edge. Whoops, that's going off a bit, but you won't see that. Right, there we go. So I need 2, so I'm just going to fold that in half and cut that in half. And we'll, when we, that we could put in the middle there, but just clip that little bit off. We just fold that in half, and that's going to be my tab when I need, or both of my tabs there. So I'll set those to the side. So the first thing we're going to do is to add our zip to one edge of the jeans. So zip coil, right side down, and I've made it a little bit longer than it needs to be. I cut the zip that bit longer, and we'll just pop a little pin in here just to hold that together. So zip coil down onto the right side of the main piece, and then this fabric doesn't matter, right side down here. If it's directional, make sure it is facing downwards. Otherwise, let's just see if that's the same size. Can't remember whether, oh no, didn't even cut that the same size, did I? Let's do this. So I'd cut, that's it. I trimmed my trimmed up my denim, and I didn't bother to trim, there we are, didn't trim my lining. So I'd done it quite randomly downstairs, and then when I came up and I ironed on the fusible fleece, I thought those two pieces are not the same size, and now I've got my lining fabric not the same size. So you do want your lining fabric exactly the same size as your outer fabric. So let's take one of these, and we're going to put that right side down, line it up with the edge and the zip tape as well. And as I say, we just put a pin to hold that in, and then I'm just going to either now change to your zipper foot, or like I'm going to do, I've moved my needle over so that I can stitch with my normal foot still on, my regular, my standard foot. So you can also pin all the way down here if you want to, or binding clip, but I like to keep lining it up as I go, and I just put my finger on near where it's going. There we go. So there we have. So I'm just going to stitch down here, go at your own speed. Oh, let's just move this. I have things under my presser foot, and then it doesn't go at the right speed. So I'm just holding my finger on the coil, and that way it doesn't shift. There we are. So there is our first one. So we can flip that open and lining goes underneath like so. And then I'm just going to top stitch, turn it around. So you can either iron at this point, just press it, or pull those two, the lining and the outer fabric together so that it's pulled away from, there we are, away from the zip part as well. So I just pull the lining fabric away under here so that it's coming away from that top part. So, and then all I'm doing is just top stitching along the side of the zip, and hopefully we will have a nice straight row of stitching. Okay, so there we are. I could have perhaps done it a little bit longer. So now we need to put our outer fabric right side down onto the zip coil again. And again, I'm just going to, I should have kept that together, shouldn't I? There we are. I'm going to line that all up, and I'm going to put a pin in there because I'm then going to put my lining fabric on the underside. So we're making that zip sandwich. Just line that up perfectly there, and then put your pin. So there is the lining, there is the zip, and here's our outer fabric. So all right sides together, and just hold those two so all those pieces line up, and then we'll do exactly the same again and start stitching along here. And then I can see, there we go, that we've got that all nicely aligned there, and just stitch the whole way across, and we will top stitch again with this other side as well. So as we pull that away, there we've got our lining fabric. Now you see it doesn't, you need to either press that or pull it. Okay, so we're going to pull it this way. So again, just pull that fabric so that it meets at the bottom, and then we're going to top stitch across here. Whoops, there we go. And I still keep pulling that lining away from this edge so that we don't get any puckers underneath or any excess fabric there. Okay. Right, so what we'll do now is we will get our, hopefully, get our zip on here. So there is my zip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one side in here, and then hopefully, sometimes that's it. And then if we put this side in here, and what I like to do is pop it down, whoops, pop it down on the surface, and I put my finger on either side here and pull that together. That's it. So, oh, just about worked. So let's just pull that apart. There we are. So we've got our zip on there. That looks okay. Right. So while that is here, what I want to do first of all is I'm just going to stitch across here just to hold my, oops, that looks as though that thread is about to come out. There we go. Let's just make sure that doesn't behind my needle. That's better. Right, so let us just stitch very carefully against the end of our zip. That's it, just to hold that together, and reverse. There we are. So that is holding that together. And then I'll do exactly the same at the other end as well. Just need to wiggle that across. That's it. For when I trim it off. So I'm not going to trim it off right at this very moment. So I'm now going to take my tab, fold it in half, and I'm going to put the raw edge over there. So I'll get myself a pin, and I'm just going to, so I've just centered it on the zip, and I may as well actually, while it's there, I may as well just stitch that down now so that it's in situ. Let's just move our needle back into position. Oops, there we go. So there we are. So I'm just popping that in place, and then I could actually trim those bits off. And then similarly here, fold it in half and raw edge in line with those edges there. Oops. There we go. So in the center of the zip, hopefully, and back again. So that is nicely in place. And then we can take that to the center so it's out of the way. So I'll just trim that little bit off there and here as well. And then what we're going to do, trim that away, trim that away. What we're going to do is we're going to pull the outer edge together and the bottom as well. So on the outer fabric, we're going to stitch the whole way across, like so, 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we will just go straight across there. But on the lining fabric, we're going to leave a gap in the bottom. So we'll leave, I don't know, 3 to 4 inches. Let's just go out just, no, not in, out just a little bit, that's it. So we can line that up, but we will go in a couple of inches and then cut and then move to the other side so that we've got a quite nice gap for turning through. Okay, so that is like we would normally do. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, we've got 2 tubes, can you see? And what we're going to do is line this seam up with the little tab that we put in here. So you can center that over the zip and the tab. Let me see, I like to use binding clips when I can. So I've lined that up, whoops, as you can see. And then similarly, we can line up the lining seam here with the zip as well. So if we just take that off and then replace it. Okay, so let's just go out just a little bit more. Do the same at the other end. Let me just see. Can't find another one. Okay, so we're just going to line up the lining with the center of the zip and the tab, and also line up the outer fabric seam as well. So I'm just going to put a pin in here to hold those together. Okay, so they are all lined up. I'll put 2 pins in there, actually just lining those up like so. Oh, that's gone on my needle. Right, so now we have 2 bits like this. So when we just flatten that out, these folds are actually lying exactly on top of each other. Now, what we can do, either you can make a mark along here. Now, I'm going to do, I'm not going to do 1 inch. I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch along here. So we either make a little mark, so just let's get the, or we can put a pin. So here is my ruler, and on my, let's have a look. Now let's go this way here. I'm looking for the 3/4 inch line. So I've lined up 3/4 inch with the fold. and I'm going to put a pin there at that end, and I'm going to put a pin at this end too. So pin there, and then on the other side I'm going to put, rather than having to measure again, I'm going to put a pin in the same place and a pin in the same place. So you can see 3/4 of an inch there. That one's come through there as well. Okay, and this one will just keep through there, and that one's come through, whoops, there. Righty ho. So what I like to do is either put 2 pins in each piece, or as I say, you can if you want to. So I'm just working on the lining now, and it is better to do it accurately, but if you want to guesstimate, that is fine. So I'm just making sure my pin is through one layer on both sides. Okay, so where those pins meet, I've actually got one on each side. Can you see? There they meet. I'm going to do the same on this side. Let's just take it through one layer, and then I'm going to put one on the other side in the same place. It just makes it easier. Okay, so that is 3/4 of an inch also. Okay, so you don't want to go going through both pieces. So you can see I've got a pin that amount apart on both sides. So then you're going to fold that line inwards so that those pins line up. So where the pin is right on the fold there, I might put another pin. So I'll just put a pin there to hold it. And then this side as well, you've got those 2 pins there. Poke it down in the middle and line that pin with that pin. So they're right on the top of the fold now. And what you can do is just take one of those pins out. Okay, so that's in. And what we've got there is a fold. And you can see, we can take those out because I've pinned that now. But what I'll do actually, I'm going to put my pin that way along. Okay, so I pinned it that way just to hold it. So I'm going to pop it that way. And then I'm going to do exactly the same at this side. Whoops, where are we? Just here. So I've got one pin there. I'm going to put a pin at the other side, and just make sure the one this side is only through one layer. And then the same here. That looks a bit wider actually. Or you can pop it like that just to line that up as well. Actually, that's there. So I've got one here. I want to put one on this side as well. It's just an easier way of being able to make that little pleat. So that pin is that side, and only want to go through one layer. So I've got my 2 pins there, same distance apart, and then I can push that part in so that I'm getting that little M shape, if you like. I'm just going to line those 2 pins up, then I can take one out. I'll pop it that way just to hold it, and then here just looks as though it's a little bit wider. Popped it there, popped it there. So I'm lining those 2 pins up, and then pop it through, pop it down so that those 2 pins line up there, and either pop your pin that way, or it's better for it to go horizontally. So that, because it's got wadding, it doesn't push in as well, but that's going to be like that. Okay, so we've got one there, and then we're going to do exactly the same on this other side here. So the 3/4 of an inch, where did I put my ruler here? 3/4 of an inch, there's a pin, 3/4 of an inch, another pin that side. So whilst we've got it like this, I'm going to put a pin rather than measuring. I'll put a pin there, and we'll put a pin here. So, and then I want to have one. So actually I'm having 4 pins in each one, aren't I? So that I can just tuck those in. Okay. And then one more here. Most I use pins really, isn't it? So pin there, and we're just going to do this again, tuck them in, push that in there, let those pins align at the top of the fold, and you can just take one of these out and pin it so it's holding that fold. Similarly here, haven't got one in the other side yet, have I? So there's one, there's 2 in exactly the same place, but we only want it through one piece. There we go. Oh, there we are. So we've got the 2 pins, fold that one in so that these 2 pins meet each other. Just haven't got much fabric on there. Okay, then we take a pin out, hold that in place. Don't need both of them in, but that's just doing that. And then as you can see, that gives that little pleat there. And similarly here, oh no, I've done that one. No, similarly here. Right, so we're going to tuck that in, tuck it in there, tuck it in there. Make sure those pins meet on the top. Push that in and push that in. It's quite good if you get that horizontally, because you're going to be stitching over here as well. So last one here, I've got that 1 pin in there. I want one more just there and just here. And you can see the reason why they need to be separated, because otherwise you won't be able to push that down. And let's see, push that down and just align those pins like so. There we go. And you want those edges lining up at the edge there as well. So that's lining up too. So I'll put a pin that way. And we only want the pins in the side. So now I can take that one out and that one. And we'll take that one out and that one out. And all we've got our pieces here, haven't we, pinned. So all I'm going to do is stitch down this side and stitch down here. So let me pop those together, pop it under the machine. I can take my pins out now because that is held. So I'm going to reverse at this end and then just make sure all these sides are aligned like so. And then here I'm just pulling this so that that's nicely, you can see this is all down here where the pins are, all those pieces. Well, let's just make sure, just pull that side out a little bit. That's it, they're all lined up across the zip. And all those folds at the edge should all be lined up. Okay. So one seam across there, one seam across here. So just line those up as well. And once we get it under the machine, we can take those pins out. There we are. And make sure you reverse, because that is quite a major point there. And then also to make sure all of these edges are aligned. You could in fact do a ½ inch seam allowance there if you like, just to make sure that everything is caught in place. Okay, So, oh, there's another pin there I don't need. So again, align these ones at this end, carry on stitching, and what I do before we go any further, so I'm just making sure this is all caught along here. It's gone in a little bit there, but I can see that's caught, and there, and there, and there. So now we have this gap here. What we can do is, and also I should have I can open the zip a little bit more then. So I'm going to turn this through now to the right side. So it comes through to the lining first of all. Once we've come through to the lining, we then turn it through to the right side. So you can open your zip that little bit more, then push it through to the right side. All those raw edges are enclosed. There we have our little corners, which are nice little V's, and just push that one out as well. Nice little V's. Got a bit of thread we want to trim off there, and nice little V's there. There it is, just like that. The only thing we need to do, and we can do it with that, oh, perhaps I'll just turn it back through again. Just need to close the gap here. So once we know that that's all nicely stitched, no holes, I'm just going to press with my nail along there, just to give that a nice crisp edge for closing this gap. So I just run my nails along there, and then you can either hand sew, or as I'm going to do, just hold these edges together. So just hold those like so, and then I'm just going to stitch across here and holding those raw edges here. It might be a bit difficult for you to see, but I'm just pulling that together. The nice folds that I made is just going to hold that in beautifully, and we'll go the whole way across the bottom here, just closing that gap, just seeing if I've gone the whole, can't see where I am now, although let's just lift that up, there we go. Whoops, no, let's just get my seam ripper, can't see where I'm popping that together now. Because of the dark fabric, it's hard to see where I'm going. Okay. So that's nicely closed across there. Trim that little bit of thread. Trim that thread at this end as well. So my gap in the bottom is closed, and I can now trim that little one off, and this one off there, and that one off there. And you can see what gives the shape are these two little triangular corners. But you see how well that actually sits. It's nice and sturdy. Just put my finger in there. So you just preen that to... I'm just putting my fingers like this into that corner, and it just pushes those corners out. So, all done. Just as simple as that. Yeah, great. And wipes. There it is again. So that one is like, that one. Got two. Which one did I make? I made the bottom one. But yeah, so that one's got a black zip and one's got, but as simple. It really, really is. I perhaps made it look a little bit longer, but putting the pins in, it just helps you. Whoops, there we go. So that one is when we pushed the end in so that it's like an inverted V. Then if you do it a little bit further, perhaps an inch to an inch and a half, that's what makes it fatter. So when it makes your pouch fatter, it also makes it smaller in that dimension. You see how with this one you've got a bigger dimension, but it is the same size fabric. Okay, so what was Jill thinking of? You was thinking, yes, you were thinking that the bigger the piece that you push in to make that fold, then the deeper the edges are going to be. So that was a deeper fold. There we go. This was a narrow fold of about 3/4 of an inch I did there. But really, really easy, isn't it? So just a recap of the same way that you would put a, you know, if you're making any others or any other pouches that you've made before. Let's pop them on there so you can see. Any other pouches, it's just that once you have stitched the base, you put your lining on your lining, outer on your outer, stitch along the bottom but leave a gap in the lining. Then you're going to fold it so that the zip is in the center, so that your lining is coming over the top and your outer fabric is the part, and just line it up around the zip, and then just push both ends of the lining and the outer fabric in and stitch across the end, turn it through. Oh, thank you, Sonia, thank you. So I know we've done this before some while ago. It does make an interesting finish, doesn't it? And it's easy. No need to, you know, you could cut out your box corners if you want to. And I think the Boxy pouches that many of you have bought the instruction pack for off the website do it in that way. We cut out the corners, but this way it just makes it a little bit different. No cutting fabric out the corners, just the fold. There's another fold you could do as well, which gives a very similar one, but I just thought it's nice to now and again revisit what I did before. I think somebody brought that up or asked the question, do you ever do things that you've done before? And I haven't. You've been taking notes. Jolly good, jolly good. Right, before I now I am going to say number, so that Lindsay doesn't have to count too far. There's this. And so while we carry on talking, Lindsay, would you mind indeed, oh, Catherine's never seen it before. Would you mind looking for comment number 75, please? I don't want you to have to count too many times. But if you count, if you can scroll back to the beginning and see if you can find number 75 to win this. Now, I don't know, so that, whoops, there it is, so that I'm not cheating, Thank you, Lindsay. So let me just see, you can't read them now. I haven't done a PDF for this, purely because I think the video, the demonstration that I've just done shows it all, because basically you can actually make it from any size you like, and you can do whatever size tuck, that fold bit, you can do whatever size you like, but it's just the basic of pop the zip in. You love a spotty bag, Nikki. You quite often get a spotty bag, Nikki, don't you? Yes, so I can't get any more black and gold ones, so that's why they're gold and white these days. Yeah, so nice, easy pouch, multitude of uses. I must admit, I have started to use some of my pouches because I have got the Juki that I usually use, which I will be using soon. I don't know, Sonia, doesn't matter. Lindsay's having a count through, or I suppose I could have just said just scroll and stop, couldn't I? But we will see. So I will leave her to do that for the moment, and when she comes up with a name, that is who this scrap bag is going to. So if the person whose name won't be too long would like to email me, trishaablett@hotmail.com. Now, I will say many times, you've got a few in your bag, Keen. Yeah, absolutely. Trisha Ablett is Tricia. We have a winner. We have a winner, and it's Heather Wallace. Could embroider a stitch feet. You could embroider along here what you've got in your pouch. That would be a great idea. So the winner has been drawn. Thank you, Lindsay. Sorry for dropping that on you. I will do some more giveaways in the future. So that's why I've came across so many bits and pieces today. Thinking, what on earth am I going to do with them? So Heather, if you would like to email me, I mean, most of you have got my email address in the system. So as soon as you put TR, it comes up, trisha@hotmail.com. And if you remember, when you're paying for anything, it's exactly the same one. No SH in it, because whenever there's people think they've paid, or PayPal one says it's pending, it's because it's not the right spelling. So if you write it down, TRICIA, you will know you've got it right. Okay. So, Heather, well done. I know Heather. Heather doesn't live too far away from me, actually. And I'm sure Heather will find loads to do. Heather makes the most innovative things. I don't know, perhaps she's gone for a tea at the minute, I don't know. But I'm sure she'll be in contact with me, Heather. Well done, you. Anyhow, I am going to love you and leave you now. It's Good Friday, so enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy Easter Saturday, Easter Sunday, and Bank Holiday Monday, Easter Monday. In Once Upon a Time, when I was in the bank, it was the best part of the year, because you actually got, because we did open on Saturdays as well, but you got a good 4-day weekend, and it was lovely. Now, I don't know, a Monday, a Saturday, a Sunday, they all seem the same to me. But on Monday, we shall be having the Mega Fabric Bundle giveaway for the all the members in the Sew with Trisha group. So those of you that have joined of late in the last few weeks, your name will also be in there. And I've got to get all the bits together to give you a nice big bundle, and I'll send that too. So take care of yourselves, enjoy, and I will see you on Monday at 4 o'clock on the So Totally Trisha page, and then on Tuesday for Bag of the Month for April. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.